The world may be seeing significant changes and a great deal of uncertainty driven by, amongst other things, the sense that globalisation has left people behind. But Deputy Prime Minister Heng Swee Keat says Singapore still believes in globalisation and that economic transformation has to continue.
The key, he said, is not to protect jobs, but to protect workers. CNA's Jeremy Coe reports from the 49th St Gallen Symposium in Switzerland.
Far-right groups are now making a comeback across Europe. And in the US, rising fears that US-China trade talks will unravel as President Donald Trump issues fresh threats. Against this backdrop, Deputy Prime Minister Heng Swee Keat said the great sense of uncertainty around the world is driven by, amongst other things, the retreat of globalization.
The sense that globalization has left people behind and therefore they are not benefiting from it, the sense of growing inequality and that this is not a fair system. And of course, in many places, when you have unemployment, particularly of youth, is particularly difficult and painful. And the world is also undergoing very significant demographic transitions.
Add to that the technological transformation making some jobs obsolete. Also significant demographic transitions in countries with aging populations, while others have youthful populations where the education system has yet to catch up. So the question is, how can countries organize their economies?
As political leaders, it's critical that we put people at the center of all that we do. Because at the end of it, we're not pursuing economic growth or innovation for the sake of growth or innovation, but rather to see how we can improve the lives of people, improve the lives of workers. So in that regard, there are a number of things that we need to do. I mentioned earlier that it is key that we protect workers and not jobs.
Mr. Heng said Singapore's unions play an important role in that, as they've chosen a collaborative rather than confrontational approach. He also highlighted Singapore's year-long Our Singapore Conversation initiative and hopes to take it to another level.
Our Singapore Conversation was let's talk. So the students said, beyond talk, let's do. So what we're hoping to do is that the next round of our conversation, we focus on let's do and let's do it together.
Mr. Heng's session at the St Gallen Symposium comes in the midst of his 5-day visit to Switzerland. This is Mr. Heng's first overseas trip as Deputy Prime Minister. Over the last few days, he and his delegation have been visiting research institutes as well as companies here to study the strengths of the Swiss system in areas such as productivity, research and development, as well as industry development. While in St Gallen, Mr. Heng also met some 30 symposium participants from Singapore. They included Singaporean leaders of tomorrow, students and corporate representatives. Jeremy Coe, CNA, St Gallen.